All right, good day, everyone. Welcome. Just give me a minute to get recording on now. All right. So welcome, everyone. My name is Rolanda. I'm also based at the BSI Africa Coordinating Center in Cape Town. So welcome to today, one of today's training session rounds where the training programs will give you an introduction of what they do. So we will give all the presenters an opportunity to give their talks, and thereafter we will have a combined Q&A session before this room closes. We have about 50 minutes for this networking round before we go on to the next round. So without further delay, let me just check if there's any questions, but I think I have to give you presenter access. Let me just see if I can do that. I think Raheel, you will be presenting first. Do you want to check if you can share your screen?
Yeah, okay.
Great. So it looks like it's working.
Yeah.
All right.
Shall I start?
Yes. So without further delay, Raheel, please go ahead. Thanks.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon. My name is Rahel. I'm from Addis Ababa University, and I will be presenting on behalf of our project Advancing Public Health Research in Eastern Africa through data science training. We are 3 PIs. The main contact is Professor Kiros Brane from Columbia University, and I am from Ethiopia, and then we also have Professor Patrick Weke from University of Nairobi, Kenya. So I'll be presenting about the overview of the AfriADST structure and the aims in general, and what we've done through year 1 and year 2, and our next steps since we are going to year 3 now. So the AfriADST is structured by 3 partners from Columbia University, Addis Ababa University, and University of Nairobi. And again, within the universities, there are a lot of partners, like from where I come. We have School of Information Science, School of Public Health, Department of Statistics, and also College of Development Studies. From University of Nairobi, there is School of Mathematics, School of Public Health, and School of Computing and Informatics. From Columbia University, the major one is Mailman School of Public Health, but we have the Lamont Doherty Earth Observatory, Data Science Institute, School of Engineering, and Department of Statistics. So for all this, we also have a training advisory committee, and we have various stakeholders. The first and the aim is to open degree programs, especially public health data science master's program, which I will say a little bit about later on. We also have faculty development program as one of the major aims. Short-term training is another aim that we have. And then there are also other aims. In terms of the milestones, the first and biggest milestone that we have accomplished right now is the Masters in Public Health Data Science program opening. But we also have short-term and faculty development programs. So in year 1 and year 2, the major accomplishment is we did a national launch in Ethiopia in March 2022, where we were supported by a lot of university management and also faculty and the other admin staff from the partnering institution. And then we had official launch in Kenya, where we were also welcomed by the Vice Chancellor, the Deputy Vice Chancellor from Kenya. And compared with that, also we've had various short-term trainings that was coupled with the official launch in Kenya. One of the things that we did in year 1 and year 2 was, especially in year 1, is curriculum development. That was a new degree program. So according to the harmonized curriculum, we have 2 years for students to complete the master's program. And in semester 1, we have epidemiology and statistical introductory courses. And in semester 2, we have probability and statistics, research methods, machine learning, advanced courses. More or less, the courses in University of Nairobi and Addis Ababa University are the same, but considering the entry structure and also where the courses are placed, there are also some differences. For instance, University of Nairobi has 2 courses in epidemiology, whereas we have 1 course in epidemiology. And then at AAU, we had a curriculum validation workshop, which is also a requirement for approval. And then based on this curriculum validation workshop and the various comments, we have finalized the curriculum. Of course, we also produced lots of documents, especially needs assessment survey report and stakeholder engagement report, were the major ones that actually triggered the finalization of the curriculum. We had short-term training courses, especially by our Colombian partners, Dr. Jeff and Tiffany, where we were when we were in Kenya. It was about emergence and future of public health data science. That was during the official launch. There were a total of 13, which actually included the major team members. And then we also attended short courses organized by the Columbia Mailman School of Public Health, SHARP course, Machine Learning and SQL. This actually gave us a very good ground to strengthen the courses in the curriculum development and also the short-term training courses, because whatever we take, we bring it back to the academics who are not actually team members. So we had data science, ethics, epidemiologic methods, developing Shiny apps, especially in an experience sharing training workshop that was organized in Ethiopia, where we had partners both face-to-face and online. And then we also had some trainings within the project team. Especially, we have made it a habit that the public health professionals get something from the technical background, and we as IT professionals try to get something from the public health, so that whatever the knowledge that we have is somehow balanced, especially when it comes to helping students. So these are some of the documents that we have produced. We have the bridge course delivery guideline, especially those coming from IT need to have 15 hours of public health background, especially before they join the program. And those coming from public health will have 15 hours of IT basics. One major thing that we have accomplished is signing of memorandum of understanding amongst the partner institutions. This actually will call for sustainability of the program, even when the project stops. We have student thesis advising guide, internship guide, and program sustainability plan. Another major event that we have was the faculty scholars visit. We had 2 faculty from Addis Ababa University, 2 faculty from University of Nairobi, and the PIs. We visited Columbia and the various institutes who are also partners from Columbia. And we actually gained a lot in terms of research and trainings that are conducted at Columbia University. So these are part of the faculty scholar visits where we met the dean and the like. Another important event that we had was participation in the DSI Africa Consortium meeting. Dr. Wenderson was one of the scholars who were funded by the DSI Consortium to participate in the consortium that was held in South Africa. Again, we learned a lot. This actually helped us a lot to form our research groups, because we took some of the topics and some of the ideas from the meetings that was held in South Africa, the DESI consortium meeting. So based on that, we have now research groups that were formed. Apart from academics becoming members of the research group, we'll also have students join the research group, so that they will not be wandering around looking for research topics, but they will work together with academic supervisors and instructors, so that they will have a very good and relevant topic for their research, especially when they write their thesis. So in AAU, we have the Data Warehouse Architecture Research Group, Maternal and Child Health. Actually, there is a comment to include data science for all the research group titles, or whatever we can call it. So it will be communicable and non-communicable disease in data science and environmental health. Then we have statistical and predictive modeling, machine learning and data visualization, big data analytics and data security, privacy and ethics, and genomics and University of Nairobi as a research group. But mostly they will also be using public health data when doing these topics. So one of the biggest achievements again is the MSc program launch at the University of Nairobi. The arrangement was in the second year. University of Nairobi starts the program, and based on the lessons learned and challenges, the Addis Ababa University starts the program in third year. So we are due to start the program as of October 23. We have quite a number of applicants, 300 applicants as of today, and we'll be having the entrance exam this weekend on Saturday. And actually we take only 30 students in the regular program and 30 students in the evening program. But this is a very encouraging number, and it shows how the program can be popular. So next step in year 3, the U of N, that's the University of Nairobi, will continue teaching the first cohort of MS students. We'll have to recruit and start teaching our first cohort of students from AAU. And we also continue to lead short-term trainings. One of the benefits that we'll have again by joining the DSI consortium in Rwanda will be taking some topics that could be of use for our short-term trainings, and the networking event will help us a lot. And in terms of stakeholders, our major stakeholder is the Ministry of Health, but also we have Ethiopian Public Health Institute, the Metrology Artificial Intelligence Institute, and we'll have to have a closer working relationship. In fact, we have already signed a data sharing agreement with them. And the next cohort of faculty scholars will visit Colombia with next week, starting on October 8. It will be a 1-week visit. And another thing that we'll be doing will be the strengthening the research group. And we have the first publication to be out probably in the next couple of weeks. We have already finalized the first draft. So these are the experiences that I can share with you. And in conclusion, our year 1 and 2 experiences have been very positive. We are excited to collaborate with other DSI Africa networks, and we look for short-term training opportunities and research undertakings, and also with stakeholders. So this is what I have. Thank you. If there is any question, I will be happy to answer. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Nahil. So just to be in the interest of time, as I mentioned, questions will be taken after all presentations. So next up, I'm happy to announce Jessica Jonach. She will present on the DSSSD training program. Jessica, please go ahead.
Okay, just setting up over here. So hi everyone, my name is Jessica. I'm the project coordinator from the NYU Grossman School of Medicine. I'm going to be talking today briefly about the NYU Moy Data Science for Social Determinants training program. shortly called the DSSD program. So just to give you an overview about our team, we have over here, starting from the right, Dr. Rumi Chunara, who is our director, along with Rajesh Vedanthan, who is one of our PIs, myself, who is the main research coordinator or project coordinator of the program, and our other two PIs, Joseph Hogan from Brown University and Anne Mwangi, as well as another co-PI, Judy Mangeni from Moy University. Just to give you a brief context about what the training program is, it started off as like building on decades of collaborative work between AMPATH, Brown University, and their biostatistics training program that's been going on since 2015 called Nambari, as well as just going off the AMPATH Kenya model that's been going on between Moy University as well as Indiana University for many, many years now. And why do we want to focus on social determinants? That was like debated on for a long time, but we saw a need to apply data science methods to determining health outcomes. And there was a need to create a more robust system for applying these methods and collecting these social determinants in the first place. And that was kind of the whole goal of wanting to spur this program. So just to give a little bit more of an overview about who else is included in our network besides the main collaborators, we have IBM Research in Africa, the organization DataKind, AI Kenya, Aga Khan University, and Deep Learning in Dava, as well as Indiana University. And we're trying to expand this network even more to see who we can work with within Kenya, within Africa, and even outside of the continent. And just to talk briefly about our 3 aims for the program, the first aim, which we're hoping to work on during the first few years and then obviously continue for the rest, is capacity building via long-term training. So we're having PhDs, students, postdoc trainees, as well as faculty fellows who are coming over to NYU and taking data science classes and then being supported in their research when they go back to Kenya. And this could be a research project with Moy University or another research project. It's all depending on what they want to do. Our second aim is the development of the Masters of Science Data Science program, as well as a PhD data science track program at Moy University. And I'll give a brief update on where all of those are at. And then our third aim and the final aim is continuing education for Moy University and its neighbors. So this includes our annual stakeholder meetings, special topics workshops, and just our annual workshops as well. And just to give a little update on where we are right now. So we did just briefly finish with our first set of trainees for the 2023 semester, who Philomena and Job, they both are faculty fellows from Moy University, and they both got their PhDs in biomedical informatics from the University of Bergen. And they came over for the spring 2023 semester, and they took multiple courses at the Tandon School of Engineering and the School of Global Health at NYU. And so far for our 2024 trainee cohort, we have identified 2 people, Dr. Milka Gasiko and Samuel Mbuga. They're both going to be coming, well, Samuel is going to be coming in spring 2024, Milka will be coming later on. And we're going to have more updates on them in the future. And just to give you the current progress update for our Masters of Science Data Science program, right now we have the course plans that have officially been approved by the quality assurance team at Moy University. And we're actually planning to already recruit students to start at this program. Maybe not for this fall, but definitely for the spring 2024 semester. I think somebody's unmuted.
You should start via iPhone. So you don't want to happen.
Sorry, please mute yourself.
Okay. Sorry about that. And we're going to have more updates to follow in the future regarding the PhD program. And just to give a little update on the workshops that we've had so far, our workshop in 2022 was our first workshop. It was held in a virtual format over Zoom due to many logistical issues regarding COVID and just getting a place for everyone to set up in person. So we held it over Zoom, and we had 16 trainees attend from multiple institutions in Kenya. And they were analysts, graduate students, university faculty, so from many different levels. And the workshop focused at first on just providing an introduction to social determinants and how to actually include it in your work. But for this year, we had our workshop for 2023 actually was held in July. So pretty recently, and it was held in person in Eldoret, Kenya. And the training was attended by 51 people, 44 of whom were trainees. So it's been a big jump from the first workshop, which is great to see. And we had trainees from many different countries in Africa, including Uganda, Kenya, Nigeria, and more. And that was really exciting to see. And we decided to focus more on machine learning, specific algorithms with machine learning, real world challenges. And we also had a specific social determinants working group, which was held a little bit after the main workshop, which I'll talk about right now. And this included about 20 trainees who were part of the 2023 workshop. And we got a new supplement as a part of our NIH funding, which is really exciting. And we're trying to use this to form what we originally thought was going to be a social determinant working group, but we're now trying to shift it more towards a community of practice on social determinant data and try to focus on community action. And we're going to focus on elevating data science capacity in the African context and creating big data resources that people can use to inform models and do all kinds of other really cool things with data science. And we're going to have more information on that in the future. But if you have any questions or comments or ideas that you don't want to talk about in the session today, this is my email above, and this is Dr. Chunara's email as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jessica. As I mentioned before, please hold a few questions until after the last presentation. So next up, we do have Dr. David Katietia, and he will be presenting about the MacDarta training program. David, please go ahead.
Yes, I'm trying to upload the slides.
Sure.
Just a moment.
Sure, no problem.
Okay, sorry. I hope you can see my slides. Let me try to slideshow. Thank you once again.
Perfect.
Yeah, thank you. This is David Katete. I'm presenting for MacDarta and UTRA training programs at Makerere University. It's a partnership between Makerere and Johns Hopkins University in the United States. And there are 3 MPIs, 2 of us, myself and Moses Joroba in Uganda, at Makerere in Uganda. And William Checkley is at Johns Hopkins in the United States. Charles is the program manager, and Agbar is the contact coordinator person in the United States at Johns Hopkins. And the other implementation team members, we have various faculty at the College of Computing at Makerere. Here we have Florence Chivunike, Joyce Nabende, and the other key people here is Bernard Bagaya, who is from the Health Sciences faculty here. Gerard Mbowa is at the Africa CDC, and the program admins Geraldine and Harriet. I'll quickly to walk you you through the training objectives. They focus on our overall goal of establishing health data science research capacity at Makerere and focusing on the major diseases, HIV, TB, malaria, epidemics, which Uganda is prone to. However, the training imparts multidisciplinary skills that allow application of those skills to other problems beyond that scientific focus. We have three program objectives, key of which is developing curriculum, higher degree training curriculum, master's and PhD, but also postdoctoral training, as well as developing faculty skills here at Makerere. And the implementation strategy for MacData is to build on prior research and investment at Makerere. And in this, we immediately recruit trainees from existing masters and PhD programs, for example, bioinformatics and statistics and the like, who are interested in data science and building careers in data science. We train them locally, particularly for master's graduates, but for PhD trainees, we send them to the United States for acquiring advanced skills in health data science. The second strategy is to gradually introduce formal data science training by introducing tracks in existing master's or PhD programs. And the key program here is bioinformatics, like the previous training program. We are also tracking bioinformatics, master's and degree curricula, and introducing data science tracks in there. That's the easiest way to introduce this kind of training as we leverage the existing infrastructure and as we build the capacity and the expertise is growing. The third strategy we do is then to scale up the tracks to full master's and PhD curricula. And we aim to harmonize with other BSI Africa training institutions. At the moment, we are working with the UKZN and KwaZulu-Natal. I will show you how far we've gone there. Here on this table, I show in light of the first strategy, the trainees we have recruited from the existing masters or PhD program, mainly bioinformatics, statistics, and even medicine. And the top two PhD fellows who completed the bioinformatics master's training, and they are now two of the four of the PhD fellows. These two now are in the United States for advanced training in health data science. We have about 8 master's trainees. These trainees for masters are already enrolled in existing programs like statistics, bioinformatics, biostatistics, engineering, and the like, but they are interested in developing careers or doing research in health data science. And these are snapshots of the titles for their research projects, which are ongoing. And here, these pictures are two of the trainees I've talked about, Shahid and Mariam Namaganda, who are in the United States for advanced training. They are coming back next year. And the idea is for them to be faculty. We are grooming them to be faculty on the master's training programs. And these are highlights of their research projects. Basically, they dwell on application of machine learning to local problems in light of the scientific focus I mentioned earlier. The second strategy of curriculum development, which I talked about, we are tracking the bioinformatics masters and PhD programs to create a health data science track. We have succeeded in doing that. Here on the left box, I show you the year 1 coursework, the coursework for year 1, and on the second box, I'm showing you the coursework for year 2. And this curriculum development was informed a lot by the stakeholders we engaged, both faculty in Ugandan institutions, not only Makerere, but by also the ministries of health, by also the research institutions in Uganda. We held a workshop for a whole day, and we really got key feedback. And in the end of it, or they advised that year 1 should be strengthened by adding in a few data science relevant courses, which we did, as you can see in the board. And I have to emphasize this curriculum were already approved, and running, and in creating tracks for health data science, we also improved them a little bit by for health data science. We introduced some courses to strengthen them for data science as well. And in year 2 is when the student can measure. They can measure, even though the degree is master's or PhD in bioinformatics, but the transcript can show he majored in health data science or in bioinformatics. And the curriculum have been approved at institutional level, and they are now advancing to a national body for approval. Curriculum development for master's and PhD training programs in Uganda is a bit lengthy, and it takes several layers from the unit to the college, to the university, and then the national body, which is the final approval. But that's where the tracked curricula are heading. That's the second strategy. And now the third strategy is to expand those tracks into full master's and PhD programs in health data science. And this we are doing jointly with the SPOC lead for the UKZN UTRA program at Makerere, and that's Professor Goa today. And we have met with him and his department here at Makerere, and we have drafted the curriculum. We have expanded the tracks to full curriculum. And we are going to present these to the stakeholders again, as we did for the tracks. And now these are full curriculum for master's and PhD training. And the stakeholders engagement is scheduled for November 2023. And we envisage this approval when we have met the stakeholders, we have their input incorporated in the curriculum, we submit them to the unit approvals and then to the university, and then the national approval. We think we'll be through this, we'll be through with all the approval processes by 2024, and then we enroll students around 2025. And with that, I would like to thank you for listening, and I will be happy to answer some questions. Thank you.
Thank you so much, David. So now I'll hand over to other David Tumusimi, and he will be presenting on the Rwanda Data Science for Health program.
Thank you, Rolanda. But Victor, the PI was supposed to be here to present, has not showed up, so I haven't prepared the presentation. Maybe during discussion, I can provide anything that is required to be known from our project. But otherwise, I think we will share most of the updates of the project, especially when the members come to Rwanda for the networking meeting. We hope to share with you the most of the progress of the project. Thank you.
Sure, thanks, David. All right, so then I'll open the floor for questions. We have about 20 minutes or so for question time. So I hope you guys have held your questions for the other presenters. You are welcome to unmute and ask your question, but you're also welcome to write your question in the chat. All right, so while we wait for others to think through questions, I have a question for Raheel. You mentioned about the curriculum validation. I don't know if you can maybe expand and give us a bit more information on that. I'm interested to know who does that. Is it the university faculty, or how does that work? Raheel, can you hear me?
Excuse me, is this for me?
Yes, Raheel. It's Rolanda.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. Can you repeat, Rolanda? Yeah, I did not hear properly.
Sure. So I was just asking, you mentioned about a curriculum validation, the curriculum
Yes.
development validation. I don't know if you'd like to expand and tell us a little bit more about how that works.
Thank you. The curriculum validation has actually two steps. One is the curriculum will be sent to internal reviewers, two internal reviewers. We selected two, one from Public Health, and actually we selected three, one from Public Health, one from Statistics, and one from School of Information Science. And then there were two external curriculum reviewers, because this is a requirement by the university. And during the validation workshop, we presented the curriculum, and then all the reviewers also presented their review and what needs to be added and what needs to be removed and the like. And then based on that, there were also stakeholders presenting their need, and also the assessment that was done during the stakeholder engagement during the stakeholder engagement activities that we carried out. And then based on that, we did the finalization of the curriculum. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Raheel. Any questions from others? I see Faisal. Thanks, Faisal. His question is asking, Raheel, are your short courses open to participants from neighboring countries? Sorry, Raheel, I think you're on mute.
Sorry. If the short-term courses are held online, some of the courses are held actually online, then they will be open to anyone interested. But if it is face-to-face, then as long as they cover their accommodation, because we don't have funding for short-term training funding for those coming from outside. Otherwise, it's open for everyone. Thank you. Probably Professor Kiros is here. He might add something if there is a need. Thank you.
So we'll just, Ashton, I see your hand. Let's just give Prof. Kiros an opportunity to respond if he would like.
We can't hear you, Kiros. I don't know.
Sure.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes. Kiros, you're lost again. We can't hear you.
His type is having audio issues, but he has nothing to add.
Okay.
Thanks, Kiros. So then I think Ashton, you had a question. Please go ahead.
Hi, good afternoon or evening. Can you be able to hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead.
All right. I thank you. My question is very specific. My name is Ashton Onyango. I'm an innovator and also an AI developer, currently working on a startup based in Nairobi, Kenya. My question is specific. With the current trends, you've seen that AI is changing quite fast. So we are no longer in closed models. We have moved to more open models and open source models like the LLMs, generative AI to be specific. Are you seeing an angle of yourselves venturing into this space, because it's going to redefine a lot a lot of things in the industry, including jobs, including solutions. We are increasingly going to see generative AI leading the revolution into the, if it's in the healthcare space, the digital health space, with the myriad of applications. I just wanted to know if your organizations and your projects that you are currently venturing into are going to, in a way, take into account the current trends like generative AI and how people can actually use it to revolutionize healthcare as people are already doing with the AI currently.
Are any of the speakers who would want to respond?
Yeah, was that to all of us?
Yes, David. I suspect so, but Ashton can correct us.
Yes, it was.
Okay, thanks very much. That's a very key point you are making. And I think definitely, at least for Makerere, and I guess other institutions like my colleagues here from Ethiopia or Nairobi, rather Kenya, we are keen to training and students in state of the art regarding AI and other modules that we have set out in the curriculum. And one way we are planning to do that in Uganda, in the curricula, we have an attachment whereby trainees will be attached, for example, to you, your company, and there they would be learning state of the art, like you described. But that's one way. Or working with you, and this kind of new training programs allow institutions to work directly with the tech companies like yours, and in that way, we would be able to train students in the latest development or what is emerging with respect to AI and any other discipline. But thank you for the point.
Thank you so much.
Any other questions or any other responses on that question? So then maybe I'll pose a question to Jessica. Jessica, you mentioned, I think, your faculty mentees. I don't know if you want to maybe expand a bit on, I'm not sure if they are the ones in the mentoring program, but I don't know if you could maybe expand a bit about what that is about and how that process works.
I'm sorry, Rolanda, that last part kind of cut off and I couldn't hear what the last part of the question was.
Sure, I was just asking if the faculty mentees that I think you've mentioned faculty mentees, how does that program work, that mentorship process?
Oh, so for the faculty mentees, we do have 2 of them who just left after completing the spring semester in 2023. So they were asked to apply by our co-director, Anne Mwangi, because she saw a lot of potential in them. She talked to them, you know, she works with them closely. And they were both faculty fellows at Moi University, and she asked them to apply for the program. I can send a link here in the chat to our website that we've created that has like all of our resources, like all of the links to our workshop materials, applications, and everything. I'll actually share that after we finish. And they basically just applied, and we well, I wasn't here, I wasn't employed when we did that, but their applications were reviewed and they were thought to be like good fits for the program. And Dr. Chunara, our main director, she like spoke to them, you know, asked them what their goals were with the program, and we just started from there. Once they agreed to be a part of it, and we brought them over to NYU where they took classes, and not only were they taking classes, but they were meeting with all kinds of faculty from NYU as well as the School of Medicine, and they were getting all kinds of work, and we're setting up their research proposals for research that they want to do now that they're back home in Kenya.
Oh, okay. All right, thanks.
Let me find that website link for you guys.
Sure. So it's more like a structured mentorship.
Yes, very structured, yes.
All right, thanks so much, Jessica. All right, so if Jessica posts that link, then if there's no further questions, I'm going to give it a second for anybody that might have a last minute question. Thanks, Jessica, for that link. Then I'm going to close that room. You will all be redirected to the main room. And then you have the opportunity to, when the next round of networking session starts, you have the opportunity to attend a different round. For my presenters, you will be back in this room with me to give the same talk over again for the next group of audience. So thanks so much.